Okay, so the next problem in the lead code we are solving is group anagrams. Okay, so before actually trying to understand this problem, we need to understand what is anagram meaning. Okay, let me try to quickly explain that part. Let me switch to marker. Okay, so now now let's say that they are telling that they're given this list of strings and they've already grouped it like that. Okay, and how they grouped it, they are telling that these are anagrams. Okay, now let's try to understand why these are anagrams. Okay, if I take this as an example, so for now I will take AET and EAT. Okay, so what does it mean is these are nothing but a bunch of characters we can just rearrange so that we can get the other one. Okay, that's what the anagram means. So why does it say is, let's say that AET, right? Let me pick one character E. Okay, let me pick A later and then let me pick T. Okay, so now I got the other string, right? So this is what is anagram meaning. Okay, so we can just rearrange the characters to get the other one. Okay, this is what is the anagram. So now coming to the this question, right? So what are they asking? So we have got a list of strings we need to group it here, group it like this. Okay, so for that basically we need to group it, right? Let's say that we'll group one is bat. Okay, and I will add it here, and group 2 and NAT tan, or group 3 and something like these three characters, right? So for all this, right, we need something unique representation, right? So for the different all these different strings we need one unique representation, that we call it as a canonical representation basically. So there will be a multiple data, but there can be one unique representation for it. Okay, so that's what is a canonical representation. Now let's see what is a canonical representation for the anagrams. Okay, so basically if you see it, right, one common thing about this is one is frequency, right? How are we going to identify it, right? Let me take an example of a same example. Okay, now if I just check this, right, what is the frequency for A frequency is 1, T frequency is 1, E frequency is 1. And again, right, if I try to do the same for this also, it will also the E frequency 1, A frequency 1 and T frequency 1. If you check both of this, right, both are having the same frequencies. Okay, so that is one common similarity, that each of the strings should have the same frequency. Okay, that is one thing. And the second thing is, if you just simply sort it, right, if you just simply sort it, it will be the same thing, right? So for example here, right, I will just sort this one. Okay, if I sort this, how it will look? AET. Okay, and let's say that if I sort this one also, again the first one lower will be A, and next will be E, and next will be T, right? So basically if I try to sort these strings, right, we are going to get the same kind of strings. Okay, this is one unique representation of multiple data. So that's what the canonical representation means. Okay, there will be multiple data, but we need one common key to group it. Okay, so based on this key we are going to we can group the items. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to explain is, here we have a list of strings. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this. Okay, I'm going to sort this, and then if wherever the strings become same, right, this will also give me 80 80 80, this will also give me 80, but this will give something like ant. Okay, this is a different representation, so I cannot group it. Okay, so wherever it is giving me the same string, so I'm going to group it into the some group it and put it in the my answer. Okay, so now let me come to this. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is AET, right? I'm going to sort it. So how it will look? It will look like AET. Okay, I'm going to check. I will have some dictionary or something. Okay, I will have some dictionary and I will say that is it present? AET is present or not? If it is not present, I'm going to initialize that key. Okay, I'm going to say new key. Okay, and for this there is one item now. Okay, which is that item? EAT. Okay, I'm going to add EAT string there. Okay, excuse me for that. Okay, AET. Okay, so I will just close this. So the next one, what I will do, TEA. Again, I will sort it. I will to look AET. I will check if it exists in this one or not. Yeah, it exists. So what I will do, I will just append it to this one. So what it will happen, this will become T. Okay, similarly what we are going to do is we are going to do the same thing for others also. Okay, now quickly let's check the code before. Actually this is one canonical representation. Okay, so as we discussed before, right, like I mean, what is the common thing? So basically canonical representation meaning we need one common representation to represent the multiple data. Okay, so is there any canonical representation between these two? There can be, but for now it's not our topic. Okay, so like I mean here, right, we here, right, basically here the category is anagram. We are going to concentrate on only that. For this one canonical representation, one common thing is sorting, that we are doing it here. We'll sort it, and we'll use that as a key. Okay. And the other thing, as we discussed, right, frequency also same, right? Once the frequency is same between these two anagrams, that's also one canonical representation, correct? So we can use frequency also as a key. That is a unique for some particular group, right? We can use that also. Here this is easy, so that's why we have used it, sort and the frequency. Okay, this is easy to understand. So basically, one second, let me. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain is, okay, so now let's check the code. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so basically now what we are doing is, let me stop this. Okay, so let me now explain the code that what we have discussed so far. Okay, so like, I mean, basically to summarize, we have this list, we need to group it. Okay, we can group it based on, one is like, I mean, sort the string and use it as a key, or maybe use a frequency. Okay, here we are in this implementation, we are using a sorting methodism. Okay, so what we'll do is, we'll iterate through this list of strings, and we'll generate a key for it. Okay, key will be like, I mean, AET. Okay, and we'll add it here, that's it. So we'll sort it. And also, as we know, right, once you apply the sorted thing, what will happen is, let's say that it is EAT, right? If it is EAT, if you apply this, it will commit as a list of strings, basically A, E and T. It's not like, I mean, it will not be come like this one. Okay, it will return this one, sorted will return this, but we cannot use that as a dictionary key, right? We cannot use it, so that's why we'll have to convert it to tuple. Okay, that's why we have converted it to tuple. And we sorted it, and then we converted it to tuple, we generated a key. Okay, so it basically, all these things, if the key exists and all these things are handled with this default dict function. Okay, if it doesn't exist, it will return an empty list, we are going to append it to it. Okay, and if it already exists, we'll just append it to it. Okay, and finally, once you do all this operation, right, sort it, generate a key and add it to it, all these things, ultimately we need to represent, we need to return the list of strings. So that's what we are trying to do here, group dot values. Okay, and also let me quickly give one summary of how to use the frequency here. Okay, so frequency, when I said, when I initially explained, right, I wrote it in this format, right? A is equal to 1, T is equal to 1, and E is equal to 1. But we cannot use it in a dictionary, this one, right? We cannot use this as a key, correct? So for that, what you can do is, so basically, you can represent it into a list of size 26. Okay, list of size 26. And what we are going to do is, for this frequency, right, let's say that some order, will have to, you convert it to odd of some character. Okay, so basically ASCII or some number it will give, right? You are going to pick that number minus that and everything. So you're going to set this bit. Okay, like, let's say that this is one. Let's say that if there is one more character, EAT, you are going to update it to 2. Okay, so basically we'll store the frequencies here. A has occurred once, and T. Let's say, if it's like, I mean, solutions will be available online, you can check this further. But yeah, this is how it will look. Okay, so let's say that for this string, we are going to represent this as a frequency. Okay, but again, we cannot use the list as a value to the dictionary, so we'll have to convert it into the tuple. Or maybe you can yeah, like, I mean, you will have to just convert it to the tuple and use this as a frequency. Okay, so now what is the change here in the implementation is, for each of this string that you are going to get, right, you are going to generate this frequency. Okay, generate this frequency, and basically check in the dictionary if it exists or not. If it exists, just add it to that group. Okay, and finally these things will remain same. If you are using the default dict, even these things will remain same. It will handle all this case, like, I mean, if it doesn't exist and all these things, right, it will make our task easier when we use a default dict. Okay, so that is it. To summarize, so what we are trying to do here is, we have got a list of strings, we are trying to group it. Okay, we need to group it based on some key. Okay, like, we need one representation, right? How do we group it? Okay, we need to understand it. So they have said it is an anagram. So for an anagram, we should be knowing that frequency should match. Okay, that is one thing. And one more thing is, we can just simply sort those strings. Okay, we can sort those strings. Once we sort it, all the strings will look the same, right? All the strings will look same. So these are the two conditions here. Based on this, we can group it. Here in this code, we are grouping it based on the sorting. We'll just sort it and we'll use it as a key. Whichever the string which give result into the same key, we'll group it and finally return as the result. That's it. Thanks. Let me